The usage of information technology significantly impacts the environment. Globally, 2% of carbon dioxide emissions are due to IT. In 2010, US $2 trillion was spent globally on information technology. This statistic is increasing by 6% every year, which means that the use of IT is increasing with time, and therefore its impact is as well. You may be asking yourself, what impact does IT have on the environment? Let us begin answering this question by examining a typical life cycle of IT. Step 1 in the life cycle is extraction of materials. Computers and electronics contain rare materials such as boron, gold, arsenic, phosphorus, and hafnium, which are essential materials used in computer parts, such as processors. These rare materials are obtained by open-pit mining, smelting, and roasting contaminated ore. All of these processes have detrimental effects on the environment, either from harmful emissions or by damaging natural landscapes. Most technology is made with plastic, and the production of plastic is not environmentally friendly. Emissions from plastic production are typically released to the air. In Canada and other developed countries, many of these chemicals are listed as priority, targeted, or even banned substances due to their environmental effects. The second step in the life cycle is production and manufacturing. Once raw materials are obtained, IT is produced in manufacturing plants. These plants use a large amount of energy to run all of the operations. The waste from these manufacturing plants is disposed of according to the legislation of the country they reside in. Often to get around the strict regulations of countries such as Canada and the US, companies will build these plants in locations such as China so that the waste does not need to be properly and safely disposed of. The third step in the life cycle is transportation. Once manufactured, products are transported around the world for consumer purchase. Goods are generally transported by boat and in large transport trucks. To get large shipments across the ocean, cargo ships are used. The environmental impact of these ships include emissions, wildlife collisions, acoustic pollution, and oil pollution. The International Maritime Organization estimates that carbon dioxide emissions from shipping were equal to 3.3% of the global human-made emissions in 2007, and expects them to rise by as much as 72% by 2020 if no action is taken. Finally, one of the most common forms of pollution associated with ships is oil spills. Oil spills have devastating effects to marine life and are very hard to clean up and control. Once across the ocean, goods are transported in trucks which deliver the products to stores for consumer purchase. These trucks burn fossil fuels, which release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The fourth step in the life cycle is the use of the technology once it's reached its destination. IT exposes our environment to radiation. High levels of radiation are a result of our dependence on technology. Cell phone usage has been linked with cancer and other health problems. Cell phones emit radioactive waves, which are absorbed by the human body. According to the Cellular Telecommunications and Internet Association, from 2000 to 2010, the number of cell phone subscribers in the US increased from 110 million to 303 million. This threefold increase shows that the environment is continuously at risk. The use of computers is a major cause of carbon dioxide emissions. Have you ever wondered how much carbon dioxide is being released as you're watching a video? According to a report published by the Climate Group, computers, mobiles, printer, and other gadgets accounted for 830 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions in the year 2007. This metric is equivalent to the carbon emissions reported by the aviation industry. Thus, the rapid increase in the usage of technology negatively impacts the environment. The fifth and final step in the life cycle is disposal, or e-waste. Have you ever wondered what happens to IT once its purpose has been served? 315 million computers became obsolete in the US between 1997 and 2004. This sums up to the disposal of 340 tons of lead being dumped into water supplies and rice fields. This is a major cause of lead poisoning. Moreover, IT releases toxins, contaminants, and hazardous waste into the environment. This is fueled by the exponential growth of IT and the rapid rate of obsolescence in the IT industry. For example, in India, circuit board cables are dipped in toxic acid to extract copper because copper is valuable. This negatively impacts the environment as lead and cadmium are released into the environment and the acid is being disposed of in the soil. E-waste is a strategy that deals with products that are no longer usable. An interesting fact to note is that developing countries handle e-waste from developed countries. An estimated 70% of e-waste handled in India is from other countries. This is because India has a cheap e-waste market, which is available for only $2 per product, whereas in the US and Europe, e-waste costs about $20 per product. This huge difference is because there are no laws on how to dispose of technology in India. According to the United Nations Environment Program, between 2007 and 2020, television e-waste will double, computer e-waste will increase by 5 times, and cell phone e-waste will increase by 18 times. Until legislation is in place to prevent this practice from happening, toxins will continue to be placed in the environment because of the lack of environmental safety measures. Some of you may have noticed that we neglected to explore an important aspect involved in IT during the life cycle analysis: energy. Technology uses energy. We use it to power our homes, our cars, and our electronic gadgets. It's also used for industrial purposes in factories. As such, it's important to examine the impact of the energy we use on the environment. Energy usage in Canada in 2010 was 41% refined petroleum products, 31% natural gas, 24% electricity, and 1% coal, according to Statistics Canada. The electrical component of these energies stems from hydro, nuclear, and wind sources. We're all aware that fossil fuels contribute to global carbon emissions, but what about the electrical energies? These energies are often considered clean energies and seen as a good potential alternative to other polluting energy sources. But are they really? Hydroelectricity is not as clean as it seems. Water is a renewable energy resource, however, there are other issues at hand. Man-made hydro reservoirs are capable of stirring up decaying matter in the water source used to create energy, releasing CO2 and methane gas, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Some generate more greenhouse gases than fossil fuels power plants. For example, in 1990, it's estimated that the Cura-Una Dam in Brazil generated 3.5 times the amount of greenhouse gases than the same amount of electricity produced by an oil plant. This impact is particularly important in the South Americas and tropics. The concern with nuclear power is disposal of the used fuel waste. While it's considered relatively safe, if properly done, natural disasters or poor design of waste facilities give the potential for major detrimental environmental effects. Popular accidents involving nuclear catastrophes are Chernobyl, Fukushima Daiichi, and the 3 Mile Island accident. Wind power is intermittent and may not always produce electricity when it's wanted. It also needs to be properly located so the turbines don't kill wildlife. Turbines are also often located in remote locations away from major power demands. In addition to all the factors considered previously, it's important to look at the IT community and data center mindset. The corporate IT community is an important target group towards green initiatives. Currently, green regulations are voluntary, and therefore the drive for a company to allocate resources to implement such green technologies is minimal. The green IT portion of business initiative within an organization is presently viewed as niche specialist projects, which are then considered side issues to the business. With no business IT stimulus for green initiative and no response from management for change, the environmental repercussions will continue to grow. Power costs of cooling IT systems have risen from 50 to 200% within organizations. This has led to significant focus on data center design, since these systems utilize a vast amount of energy. Data center spaces can consume more than 100 times the energy of a standard office space. In 2010, Google pledged to be carbon neutral. To attain this goal, a large effort was made to design and build their own data centers. Many companies who do not have the required resources or finances to establish a team to implement data centers. Moreover, it would be far too expensive for a company to outsource the job. All this being said, green IT is an issue that is gaining ground, but there is still a long way to come. The development of green IT improves the recyclability of electronic devices every year. There are also regulations such as Energy Star and EPAT to ensure that manufacturers use as much environmentally friendly technology as possible. However, there's no limit on unit sales of information technology-related devices. To be able to use the latest and fastest information technology, people have to replace their personal electronic devices regularly. Moreover, there are new users that start to use information technology every day. These factors cause the increase of unit sales. According to Green IT, more than a 3% solution, although PCs use only about 100 watts of power, the combined electrical requirement is large due to the fact there are billions of PCs worldwide. Apple's products is well known for its environmental impact because it has the highest Energy Star rating and the highest EPAT rating. However, from 2005 to 2014, the unit sales of Apple electronic products increased from 27 million to 270 million per year. No matter how much green IT has helped to reduce the impact on the environment in the last 10 years, the non-recyclable parts of these products are still increasing over time. According to the report from Electronics Take Back Coalition, from 2000 to 2012, although the percent recycled of e-waste increased from 10 to 29.2%, the total e-waste generated increased from 1.9 million tons to 3.42 million tons, and the unrecycled e-waste increased from 1.71 million tons to 2.42 million tons. The situation became worse than before due to the development of IT. Examining the evidence presented previously, it can be concluded that IT is not good for the environment. From creation to disposal, IT has detrimental effects. These environmental issues cannot be solved by the improvement of green technology. It would require a radical change in product composition, energy efficiency, and global perspective to decrease the total impact of IT on our planet.